Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the H&E Pod. I think it's episode 6, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, today we're talking about a few things as I look at my notes. Batman casting news, the CW Crisis stuff, like updates for that. Also Kevin Feige, his promotion, which is pretty cool and what that entails. And also some Monsterverse updates for you guys today that came out. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see it in different segments. So some segments may be up when you're watching this, some may still be uploading depending on when you're watching it. So just, if it's not up yet, please come back and check it out. But those are the segments, one of those four you're probably watching right now. But yes, so getting in, I guess, yeah, it kind of finishes our whole Batman casting segment here.
Seems like a fair place to end it.
Yeah, I wish I had a good segue. So CW, do you watch it?
Yes, I do.
So the CW is doing the Crisis event, which has been teased since, at least officially teased since last year with the Elseworlds event they did, that crossover. They had the Monitor appear and stuff like that. So in the past week or so, we've gotten confirmations that, like, yes, Smallville will be canon to the CW universe. Smallville season 11, the comic extension as well, will be canon, which is interesting. Kingdom Come Superman, which is technically based off of Brandon Routh's interpretation from Superman Returns, which is technically based off of the Christopher Reeve Superman. So indirectly, Christopher Reeve Superman is now canon to the CW.
Which is dope. That's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow it, because technically Brandon Routh's Superman movie takes place after Superman 2.
Right. Oh, does it? They retcon
Yeah,
3 and 4?
yeah. So like it's supposed to be a continuation, but like they cast Brandon Routh because he looked similar to Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, I remember them saying that this was a retcon sequel, like back in the day. So that's cool.
Yeah,
As far as we know, this is like within that same universe. I'm curious to see what that Superman's been through in the time since we've last seen him.
exactly. So we have that Michael Keaton Batman universe is going to be featured in some capacity, and we talked last episode about maybe like a pseudo Batman Beyond kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool.
I remember
Um,
that. Yeah. We still have Kevin
let's see.
Conroy back as Batman.
Yeah, he's going to be playing an older Bruce Wayne, which could lead to a Batman Beyond. Technically,
Hey,
I'm going to keep saying it. I just think it's too perfect.
you're just
First
gonna
off,
wish it
get your
into
Batman
existence.
fix, right? I'm going to say it into existence because you get your Batman fix, right? For all the Batman fans, Kevin Conroy as an older Bruce Wayne, take my money now. Then on top of that, like on top of all of that, Batman Beyond, like I'm sorry, I would rather CW cancel Legends, cancel Batwoman, cancel Arrow, which I guess technically they're already wrapping up Arrow, but I'd rather all those budgets for those shows go to a single season of Batman Beyond. Because
That'd be a high
like,
budget show. With it being in the
I mean, not
future.
even really. You don't. That's the thing, though. You don't have to make a super high budget. You could just do like splurts of like CG, but you could do what the Flash does, where every time he's running around the city and they have like that helicopter view, it's the same thing over and over and over again, but just different angles.
Ooh, let me ask you this. Would you rather Batman Beyond be on the CW or would you rather it be on the DC streaming service?
I say CW because then we'll get more episodes and
That's
we can
true.
see more of certain things. I mean, also, I don't really mind. They're going to do like the CW romantic triangle eventually with the villain, probably, and they're going to do this and that and blah, 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 blah. That's not even a word, but they're gonna do
Of
CW stuff, right? Like they're gonna do
course.
what the CW always does. That works for Batman Beyond because he's a teenager in high school.
That
Just
is true.
like just like I thought instead of a Black Lightning show, they should have done a Static show because he's in high school. So like that CW type drama fits perfectly for that.
hmm It's right in their wheelhouse. They love high school angst and teenage
Exactly.
love triangles.
Exactly. Like the first few seasons of Arrow, like outside of the
It's
Nolanisms of like the first season of Arrow, it was very like love triangle, this and like with Laurel
super
and
CW.
Tommy and like that's what I'm saying. And they did the same thing with Smallville. And looks like Batwoman's not gonna be avoiding that either. So I'm like, if you're gonna do that stuff, which is like a traditional teenage high school TV show kind of thing, just do a teenage high school character. And people are going to tune in for a Batman Beyond show. Like I don't see how they possibly wouldn't.
People love Batman. People,
Yeah.
and especially the people that are nostalgic for Batman Beyond from like 2003, 2004, they're definitely going to tune in for some Batman Beyond.
That's what I'm saying. Especially just get a solid writer on it. Like it wouldn't be hard to get a solid writer to know how to write it because you already have writers. Obviously, like Berlanti probably knows enough writers to do the high school angst stuff, romantic triangles, and all that drama. Just have someone who can write a good superhero narrative.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in the crossover. Like
Yeah,
honestly, at this point, with how many people have been cast in this thing,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. Come on, but I say that at the same time, they're not going to cancel Batwoman and stuff like that. They've really hyped up the show and they just started it, so it's kind of too soon. But focusing back on the Crisis stuff, we did see Anti-Monitor officially revealed. He looks like a White Walker.
it totally does.
Like,
Like straight up. I'm like, all
um,
right, that's what they're doing.
but it's interesting to me because he looks more like the New 52 Anti-Monitor than he does the pre-Crisis Anti-Monitor. So like what were your thoughts on that? Like, do you think they might incorporate that type of storyline? Because I don't expect Darkseid to show up, and I don't expect the
No.
Darkseid War storyline. Even though I'm not gonna lie, that'd be really dope if they somehow could pull that off. But I mean, what do you think about?
I think it's been really interesting so far, just seeing the monitor appearing in the CW shows. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna adapt and what they're going to use from the comic, what they're going to change, and the dynamic between the monitor and anti-monitor. And it's being played by the same actor for both, right? That's what I assume.
Yeah, yeah, he's just in makeup, which I think is kind of dumb. Personally, I think they should have
Mhm.
just gotten a different actor because that dude has to be in so much makeup. I feel so bad for
Oh
him.
yeah,
He's
hours and
probably in a
hours of
trailer
makeup.
for for like 10 hours at a time. But I mean, like with the Crisis event, I don't really know what to expect. There's rumors that Oliver may not die because the whole time they're making it seem like the Flash originally like sacrifices himself like in the comics, but Oliver makes a deal to sacrifice himself instead, which really I don't even think is the equal trade-off. So I wouldn't take that if I was the Monitor. I'd be like, yo, you gotta give me more than that. Come on. Um,
It's actually really interesting what's going on in the shows right now, because normally what happens in the CW shows is they both have their own storylines, and then at the mid season they come together for the crossover. But both Flash and Arrow from the jump are addressing the crisis, and that's what is driving the show up until that point. And the
yeah,
monitor appears in both of them, so I think that's really cool that they're putting the focus in to these shows to lead into this event. And
yeah.
he's kind of playing the field because he's told Oliver that Oliver's going to die, but he also told Barry that he's going to die. So who's actually going to die in this thing? Are they both going to die? That would be dope, but I highly doubt that CW has the balls to pull that off or to commit to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think something's gonna happen where instead some of the other characters, like Tom Welling Superman or Brandon Routh Superman, like they're gonna be the ones to sacrifice themselves because they don't really have a future in the CW verse. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
those
They're dispensable.
versions of the characters, yeah, they're dispensable. Like they're really just here for fan service, and the ultimate fan service would be a conclusion to their stories, which would be a sacrifice. Like their characters sacrificing themselves. So the way I see it, those will be the characters to kind of go down probably in like a big final climatic moment. And I can see Oliver being saved by the anti-monitor, not anti-monitor, but the monitor, and basically saying like he'll be rewarded for his courage or something like that. And Oliver will like officially retire.
Mm.
Like I can see something like that happening
I would.
because
I think
they've
that'd be
been
cool.
because I feel like it's almost a red herring at this point, like him dying, because they keep saying it and they keep teasing it over and over and over again. I'm like, all right, at this point, like
That's something
they're
both
gonna
shows are
fake us
doing.
out. They're gonna fake us
Yeah,
out at this point.
they're both addressing the fact that like, look, the monitor told you guys both that you guys are going to die, that you have to die to stop the crisis, and both shows are like, no, we can fight fate, you guys don't have to die. I'm like, okay, then you guys are saying that now, then y'all are definitely not going to die, because they're trying to make it a point that you guys are going to get saved at the end of the shows.
Yeah. Another reason I don't think they'll die is because technically in the future, according to Legends of Tomorrow, Oliver is still alive.
Mm. Well, that was another universe in the
I
beginning of
know,
that first
I know,
season.
I know. Technically, in that universe, Barry should be dead. In that alternate timeline. But didn't Barry technically make the main universe that universe?
Did
Because
he?
because instead of having a little girl, Diggle had a boy now, right?
Right, right,
Or
right.
was it the opposite? Does he have a girl now?
No, as a boy now, because originally named after
Yeah,
Sarah, and now
yeah,
it's John Jr.
yeah. Who's gonna become Connor Hawk?
Well, no, that's the thing. If you well, do you plan
No,
on do you
because
plan on
he
watching Arrow ever again?
no.
Okay, spoilers for Arrow for those people that care. So John actually has two sons. John Jr. Basically, what they're doing in Arrow now, they do a flash forward, and
Yeah.
the older son basically becomes like the 2040 version of Deathstroke, and the younger son is Connor Hawk.
Was.
Yeah.
But I thought the future Deathstroke was Deathstroke's kid in the
Well,
future.
well, no, it's
They
well
changed
in the
it.
year 2040, and maybe it's just like a legacy kind of thing, and maybe he took it
Yeah.
from Slade's son, and now John's son is now Deathstroke.
That's crazy. They got
Yeah,
they have. I need to watch Arrow. I guess obviously. I didn't watch the current season. If that happened in the current season, just because I'm always busy when it comes on and stuff like that. But I've been like touching base like the Flash and everything like that, and making sure I'm up to date with that. But let me ask you your opinion on this. So after Crisis is over, they're obviously going to need. Excuse me. They're obviously going to need some sort of new direction, right, for these shows. Like when they cross over in the future, what is it going to be leading towards, if anything? What do you think that's going to be?
I think they are going to incorporate Supergirl into the main universe, and I think they're going to include Black Lightning in the main universe. But actually, I take that Black Lightning thing back. I feel like you've seen the pictures of Black Lightning in the crossover, right? And how he has a different suit. Well, have you seen that? Because
Yeah, I think so.
there's a behind the scenes photo of Grant Gustin and the guy who plays Black Lightning like standing together, but it doesn't look like the show Cress Williams. It doesn't look like the suit that he has in the show. So I'm thinking they go to a Black Lightning from a different universe. That way, it doesn't affect what Black Lightning's doing in their solo series. Or he just gets a new suit sometime in the show.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think the ultimate goal for this crossover is to get them all playing in the same sort of wheelhouse in the same universe.
So like, who do you think is going to be the next big bad then?
Next big bad.
Yeah, like
Where do you
for the
go after
crossover,
that?
because every crossover they do, which I'm assuming they're going to do more in the future and stuff like that, especially because they kind of confirm they want to do more, at least like with Batgirl and Supergirl as like the CW version of World's Finest. So like I'm trying to figure out like who would the next big bad be, because you could say Batwoman replaces. I said Batgirl earlier. My bad. Batwoman replaces Arrow as like the non super powered, kind of like basically super strict, stubborn kind of character. Then you have
Mhm.
Supergirl. The Flash presumably will be alive. Um, so it's like who who do you think would be the villain for?
I doubt that the CW would ever have the balls to do something with. I don't know if they can go higher stakes. Do you think they can go higher stakes than what they are now?
Well, that's what I'm confused about, because I'm like they're doing the anti-monitor, which for the sakes of like for the purpose of merging all these different shows, kind of like you said, like under one roof. I totally get that, and I think that it serves its purpose well. But you're gonna need something that's not like you can't overextend. You know what I mean? Like you can't do Dark Side next, and you can't do something crazy like that. So I'm trying to figure out like what would they do?
That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe this is like the last mega crossover that they do. Even though I'm sure they'll do something like on a smaller scale, like in the next coming years,
Yeah,
like how for example, like just Flash or just Supergirl will cross over, or
yeah.
just Legends and just Arrow. So maybe they'll start doing that, and then they'll wait for another big one and for like 3 or 4 years down the line.
Well, what is your thoughts about Pariah? Because the most recent character that Kavanaugh is playing is Pariah, which is interesting. And
I don't know
yeah,
much about
oh,
Pariah.
I can't believe it took us this long to get to it. The Spectre is
Yeah,
confirmed to be in this. It was cast, and people weren't sure, is it just Jim Corrigan? Will we actually get the Spectre? But it seems officially, yes, we will get the Spectre. So I'm curious about that. Do you think they're gonna do like a not Justice League Dark, but kind of like magic users show on the CW?
that would be
Because
dope.
I would totally be down if they replace Legends with like, what's the word? There's a term for this, like for the kind of dark magic users group, not Demon Knights, but like something like Etrigan, Zatanna,
I know there's
Constantine,
Justice League
Swarm.
Dark, but I don't know like what the overall term is for it is.
No, there was like a team name for these characters. I don't know. Basically, Justice League Dark, I guess, like for
Mhm.
Magic users. But if they do a show and they somehow connect it to like the DCU Swamp Thing, bring him back, that'd be pretty cool. Plus, introduce Zatanna, whatever version they want to go with. Plus, introduce maybe Doctor Fate. Maybe bring in, of course, Constantine, who's been floating around the CW for some time now. The Spectre as well. I mean, that could be a pretty cool TV show. Not sure
I
if they'll
would
have
be
the
super
budget for it
down.
though.
My only
How many?
concern is how many shows do they have at this point? I feel like they gotta start cutting some down. I know they're cutting Arrow off, but
That's
is
what I'm
this
saying. And
Crisis?
Legends.
There you go. Is this Crisis going to be like really confusing for people because is it going to require you to know all the storylines from these different shows, or is it all just going to be focused on the main event at hand? That's my main concern.
I think they're gonna have like a primer in the beginning.
Hmm.
So they're probably gonna be like, previously on Arrow, previously on The Flash, previously on Black Lightning, previously on Legends, previously on Smallville, previously on Supergirl. Like they're probably gonna do that for like all these shows, catch you
That's
up.
that's
They're
so
gonna be like,
crazy.
so they're gonna be like, for Smallville, I hope you have 10 years to catch up on this real quick. Um,
Oh God, imagine though.
yeah.
Previously on Black Lightning, previously on the Ray.
No, dude, honestly, my biggest fear though for the Spectre is he's entirely CG and it just looks trash.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because they
There's-
did Darkseid like that. Remember, like in Smallville, like he was like this cloudy CGI character, which you could do in small doses for the Spectre for sure, but like I don't. I mean, I can just see it now. It'll look too weird and cheesy if it's just a dude painted white with a green cloak.
Yeah, they gotta actually put some money into him if they're gonna do him right. Or
Yeah.
maybe he will. Or maybe he'll like float half the time, and maybe he'll be standing the other half the time. I
Watch
don't
them do a
know.
thing where it's like his eyes just glow green. I mean, they did Martian Manhunter and Supergirl. Like they were able to pull that off, but
I mean, yeah. I mean, granted, the effects aren't the greatest, but like they're suitable. They serve its purpose.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking is like I know they want to do all these characters, but at a certain point you got to ask yourself, with the CW budget, are you doing justice doing these characters if they're not gonna look well? Like you're
Yeah,
limiting like I'd rather have a better looking anti-monitor and a better looking Superman scenes and better looking Flash scenes than the Spectre. You know what I mean? Like if
right.
that's gonna take away from the budget in such a way, considering that I mean, like it's either CGI Spectre or you paint a dude white and give him a green cloak.
My question is, how much money are they putting into Crisis? Because they've been hyping this up for a year, and they have so many characters that are really special
I
effects
think
heavy.
it's I think it's every show. Like they're putting the budget of every single TV show
Combined.
for a week. Yeah, so it's
Mhm.
like I think all the different shows, they're just episodes of the Crisis event. So they're not even like they're technically like an episode of Supergirl, technically an episode of Batwoman, but
That's what
it's
I don't
Crisis.
want, though. I don't want it to be like Crisis from this person's perspective, Crisis from this person's perspective. I
No,
want
I
it to
don't
be
think it
just
is
like
though.
all one big thing.
No, I think it is, and they're just using those spaces and those budgets from those TV shows.
Okay, because that's what it was in years past. And like, though I guess it was cool for the crossover, I think it would feel like a more contained piece if it was all just like how we were saying, if it
Yeah,
was all just one umbrella thing.
I mean, I feel like it kind of has to be
Right.
if they want it to be done right. I mean, there's no way you can make Batwoman's too new of a character. There's no way you can make a whole episode of Crisis focused on her. Like, there's no way she isn't like the only two characters you could really, maybe three characters you could really pull that off for is Supergirl, Arrow, and the Flash. That's
My
it.
question is, since Arrow is the only one that has a limited run with 10 episodes, is
Yeah,
the Arrow show going to end with Crisis? Is that going to
I
be Arrow's
believe so.
finale?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Which is why everyone's like, Oliver's gonna, like that's it. But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, he already died. Like the show died when he fell off the cliff and Raish
Ra's al
defeated
Ghul.
him. Yeah,
Uh,
when that happened, that was the peak of the show. I remember watching that and I was like, oh, like that's like what? Um, no, but honestly, like I think that's it for Arrow. Like the show ends. Like the actor signed the special contract just for a 10 episode season, just to wrap it up and lead to Crisis. But honestly, what? All right, so we've been talking about this for a while. So I guess like wrapping up the Crisis stuff, kind of like we did with the Batman casting thing. What character has not been announced yet? Would you love to see? Maybe not prominent, but like this could be a backdoor pilot for that character. For me personally, I love. We've been teased it forever. Give me officially John Stewart Diggle becomes a
yes.
Green Lantern by the end of the series.
Ooh, that would be dope. They did tease it last season with the 90s Earth 90.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that would be super sick if we finally get a Green Arrow in the universe. Dang, it would be a good one. We have Batwoman. I feel like Batman's too obvious of a choice. Where do you have Ralph Dibny? So we would need Plastic Man.
it has to be a character not like not in the CW yet though. So
Not in the
like I
CW.
kind of cheated with the John Stewart Diggle, but technically there hasn't been a Green Lantern yet, so that's why I did it.
That is true. That is true. We haven't seen Wonder Woman yet. Wonder Woman would be cool. Um, Dang, dude. That's a tough one, man. There's so many members of the Justice League that haven't been explored. Love to see Static. Um,
Yeah.
wow. You
When
stumped me,
are
bro.
when you were talking, I was like, wait a second, have the Hawk people come back? Like Hawkman,
No,
Hawkwoman? Like
they haven't
what
come back
happened to
yet.
them? They were in the newspaper, remember originally, like when before the Flash vanishes, like and he fights the Reverse Flash in the original newspaper. They have like Firestorm, Hawkman, Hawkgirl or Hawkwoman, Arrow, like Atom, like basically all the characters at the time in the CW were fighting a Reverse Flash, and now it's like, was that
Yeah,
really your Justice League? Really?
right.
Like,
Yeah. Redcon. I totally forgot Firestorm was a thing. I'm like, oh shit, he was in that show, wasn't he?
yeah,
Oops. And then they haven't brought the Hawks back since season one of Legends because
yeah.
they kind of wrote them out. Dang, dude, it would be like a good one. Um, yeah, bro. I got nothing right now. I'm stumped.
Really?
Yeah, and there's like a whole plethora of characters that you can pull from. Um, Watch, I was like, as soon as we stop recording, I'm like, oh, this person. Dang, because you said Diggle. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. Those I named like two of them. I named two of them with Plastic Man and Static. But those are the only two I can think of right now.
True, true, true. Okay. Oh, Lucifer is in the. Did you hear about that? Like Lucifer, like
Is it
Tom Ellis.
confirmed?
Yeah, like Tom Ellis is going to appear in Crisis as Lucifer. In what capacity? I have no idea because I'm pretty sure at the end of the last season he's in hell again.
Oh wow, I'm not even caught up on Lucifer's. I don't even know what's
Oh,
happening.
spoilers! But I'm pretty sure that's what happened if I remember correctly, which maybe means Oliver dies and goes to hell and Lucifer releases him. Who knows? I have
Oh,
no idea. That could be the extent of his cameo or whatever. But can you imagine Lucifer fighting Anti-Monitor? That's kind of too wacky for me.
a
Um,
little bit.
so thanks for watching. If you guys are still watching at this point and you haven't checked out all the different segments of this podcast episode, please check them out. If the podcast audio version isn't on our SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, etc., give it some time. That might take a little while, but Yeah, hopefully I can get this up the same day we record it. It kind of depends, but leave your comments down below, and we'll see you guys later.
See ya. Oh man.
Thanks for watching our video. If you guys liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and consider filling out the survey in the description below. It's just some stuff for us to find out ways we can better make our content, whether it's the lighting, the camera, the audio, the video, whatever it may be. We want to make the best content possible for you guys here at HN. So just fill out the survey if you have a chance. Let us know. Put in the comments things we can improve upon. And we hope you guys liked the video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys would like to see next time. And we'll see you guys later.